My name is Michael Askew. I want to thank Chris for having me here. I've been in Charlotte probably about 4 months now, and what I've been trying to do, because I was once in your shoes, I kind of, part of me don't like dressing like this, because when people see me, I know when I was your age, and I see somebody, trying to look spiffy and got a suit, I'm like, this dude ain't never been hungry a day in his life. This dude was probably born with a silver spoon in his mouth. But it was the complete opposite. Adversity. Can anybody tell me what adversity is?
Misfortune.
Misfortune. Hard times. Dad went to prison. Uncle went to prison. Guys, I grew up I had a situation where my mom, she had my first sister when she was 15. She had my second sister when she was 17. So she had my older sister sitting on her left knee, right? Then she had my other sister sitting on her right knee while she was doing her homework in high school. And she still graduated on time, but she could easily gave up. She could easily say, you know what? Statistics says I'm not going to be worth anything, right? Because I done had 2 kids as a teenager. I'm not going to do anything. Especially African Americans. Statistics says you should go one way or another. If you got a family member that went to jail, statistics says 9 times out of 10, you might do the same thing. But guys, this is the beauty about life. Because beating the odds, that's what I live for, baby. That's what I live for. I'm talking about going to school with holes in my shoes. I'm talking about being so poor that when I came home from school, I tried to flick on the light, to turn on the light. Nothing happened. My parents couldn't afford to pay the light bill. I'm talking about every time, I open up the refrigerator, you got bologna sandwich, you got banana sauce, you got oodles and noodles. You know what I'm talking about. Hard times, right? So it's a couple of things that I had to do differently so I could just move to a whole nother level. Number 1, dream big. Guys, dreaming big, when somebody says dream big, you can do whatever you want to do. It sounds corny, but when you really think about it, how, every time you see somebody like Michael Jordan, every time, even as far as females, we really got somebody like Beyonce, if you actually do research on them, if you do research, they struggle in the past. How can you be arguably the best to ever play the game in basketball, but you can't even make your own basketball team in high school? Come on now, Michael Jordan. He did the same thing I did when I tried out for the football team when I was in 7th grade. I went out there, I said, yeah, I made it 10. I went out there, looked on the list, I went on the list. What'd I do? I went home, my mom said, baby, you made the team. I didn't say anything, I closed the door and I cried. Michael Jordan did the same thing. He went in his room, locked the door and cried. But what you gotta understand is that you can't feel sorry for yourself when you're in a situation that seems to be bad. When everything around you seems to be bad and everybody seems to be poor and you in the block, you in the hood, you in the trap, you can't feel sorry for yourself because nobody else is gonna feel sorry for you. Guys, I had to realize that, listen, Michael, although you seem to be a soft-spoken, nice guy, nobody cares about that. Life don't care about that, but what you can do is create a new legacy. You can't change the history. If you have to be the first one in your family to do something, so be it. That's what life is all about. You know Oprah Winfrey. They told Oprah, they said, Oprah, although you're cool and all, we don't need you here as far as being a news anchor. They told her, you are cosmetically challenged. Listen, let me tell you something. If somebody come to me and said, Mike, you know what? You're not really attractive, man. Matter of fact, you ugly. If somebody come to me and say that, I'm like, okay, I took a loss. That's your opinion. But if you try to get creative and say you cosmetically challenged, that's when I really get offended. They never seen about it on television like Oprah Winfrey. So she said, okay, I'll be the first one. Matter of fact, no, scratch that. Not only will I be the first one, but I get my own network. Now she's the most influential woman in the world. So somebody was telling me a story one time about this guy. Every time he left his house to go jogging, he'll go past his house and it'd be like this dude sit on the porch, but it'd be this little mutt, a dog sitting in the yard. Every time he jogged, by the house, the dog would be moaning and making howling sounds. He'd be like, what's wrong with this dog? So next day he'll go outside and he'll run by the dog again. The dog is still moaning and stuff. So again, he just turn on his music, keep going. So the third day he'll jog by and the dog will moan and say, he was like, this dog is still making noise. So on his way back from jogging, he stopped to the house. He said, hey, so what's up, bro? Gave him that and everything. Was talking to him. He was like, hey, what's up with that dog right there? He said, oh, no, he fine. He fine. He just sitting on a nail. A nail? Why he sitting on a nail? He just get up. He was like, well, the nail hurt just enough for him to moan and complain, but not enough for him to actually get up and do a thing about it. Guys, I sat right here and heard you all talk about how your dad and your uncle, cousin, whoever been in jail, right? So growing up, you're gonna face so much adversity, and you're gonna say, you know what? I don't see anybody in my family who actually went to college. I don't see anybody in my family who actually went and been successful. Cam Newton, I don't got anybody in my family who actually went to the NFL. Maybe they just special. I can't do it. Guys, either you're gonna decide that you are a victor, that you can do whatever you want to do, or either you're gonna say, I'm a victim. I'm a victim because, my father wasn't there for me. When I was growing up in a single parent household, I could easily say, man, it ain't fair. Matter of fact, one time I was bitter. Because every time I looked around, my cousins, my friends, it seemed like they had a two-parent household and they always had money. Their parents were there for whatever. Then one day I said, I'm going to stop feeling sorry for myself because I got tired of making bad grades. My grades were so bad that I had a 1.9 GPA in college. They was about to kick me out. And somebody looked at me and said, ask you, do you want to be a statistic? I was like, nah. She didn't have to explain to me what that meant. That meant that you are another male who went to college. I heard Chris talking about college, but I was on a whole nother level. I'm talking about I get my book bag. I got my book and I walk to class, and it'd be around August or spring. I'd be walking to class and I start smelling the food in the air. Some girl walked by. I would post up on the wall and then I said, what class? I wouldn't go to class. I didn't have a why. I didn't have a purpose. Every time I made a irresponsible decision like that, I didn't think about the fact that my mom and dad were home hungry. I didn't think about the fact that if I don't do what I got to do, my parents would probably never live a good life. I didn't think about the fact that, Michael, you do remember back in the day that you were so poor that you had to wear hand-me-down clothes from your sister. You do remember that, right? Now, thank goodness my sister went through a tomboy stage, so I wore like their Filas and their Levi jeans, but still, I wore hand-me-down clothes with my sister because we didn't have much. So right now, I guess I can get offended a little bit. Whenever people look at me there and say, look at this guy. This guy probably always had it. Man, I get offended a little bit. Because I never want to be so successful to the point where you say, I didn't go through hard times. Just because I don't look like what I've been through, it doesn't mean I didn't go through anything. So guys, I want to give you three things. I want to give you 3 ways how to embrace adversity. Now listen, guys. I'm from a place called Bertie County. Bertie County, if you know anything about Bertie County, it's a small little area. A lot of people really don't make it out. And when they do leave, it's like a magnet, something just pull them back. Everybody in Bertie County either on drugs, selling drugs, they're in jail, or they've been in jail, so they're having a hard time getting a job. Once you go to jail, I'm not sure if you know this, but once you go to jail, it's not as easy to actually live a good life once you get out. It's possible. Anything is possible. I believe anything is possible. It's very hard. I got a lot of family members who went to jail, and now they kind of struggling a little bit because now they got a felony behind the name or something, and it's hard. So Bertie County, people having babies, making babies, it's so much stuff like that. So to actually make it out, people always say you made it. So 3 ways as far as you can make it happen. Dream big. I talk about dream big. I talked about Michael Jordan and how he just went from not being able to make his basketball team to now he got so many rings he can't even fit it on one hand. But when you look at Michael Jordan, you don't think about it. You think about you think about the shoes. You think of people waiting in line hours for his shoes and people get killed over. I mean he the man. He the man. Think about even Beyonce. At one point in time, nobody knew who B was. Nobody knew who Beyonce was. She was in Houston, Texas, going around the talent show, trying to get somebody to know who she was. But she grind and she grind and she grind, and all the adversity that she went through, nobody knew about that. Right now, don't anybody care. Guess what? She's on a world tour right now with Jay-Z. Y'all probably know that she's on a world tour right now. And by the time the tour over, she probably make $100 million just from singing all over the world. You gonna tell me I get to travel all over the world? You gonna pay me for something that's my talent, that's my passion? Dream big, guys. Listen, dreaming big is real. If you want to even go further back, Martin Luther King, you know, that speech, you know, I have a dream. I took it for granted for years. But if you actually think about what he said, he was saying, I have a dream that this race will be able to hold hands with this race. It wasn't happening when he said it. He dreamed it. Now, unfortunately, he wasn't able to see it while he was alive, but he dreamed it. I have a dream that you know, any race will be able to, you know, sit down and eat at a restaurant. You know, no matter, he dreamed it, guys. The second way of how you can embrace adversity is to accept the challenge. Who just went to the Cleveland Cavaliers? LeBron James. LeBron James, he just went to the Cleveland Cavaliers, man. If you actually, it's crazy because he gave Cleveland, you know, 7 years of his life, man, and he went to Miami, he did what he had to do, got 2 rings. But if you actually paid attention, man, he wrote a letter this time. He didn't say not 1, not 2, not 3, not 8. He learned from the first time. But in the letter, on the end of the letter, he said, you know, I'm ready to accept the challenge. I'm coming home. Come on, bro, you LeBron James. What you mean you ready to accept the challenge? Cleveland should be glad you're coming back. What you mean? You the face of the NBA. You got 2 rings. Come on, now what you mean you accept the challenge? Then I thought about it. When he said I accept the challenge, he said, you know what? I get it. Cleveland, I gave you 7 years of my life, but I did not bring you a ring. I went to Miami where it could be a little easier. I got Bosh, I got Wade, I got 2 rings. But you know what? I accept the challenge. I'm willing to come back home. Listen, I don't need Bosh. I don't need Wade. I will do whatever I got to do to raise my game to a whole nother level. I accept the challenge. I know I got a whole bunch of young guys on the team. I will be a leader. I will be a more leader on and off the field. I'm not sure if you've seen me yet, but LeBron lost a lot of weight. Him, D-Wade, like they on some kind of diet, and he lost a lot of weight. So evidently he doing certain things to raise his game to a whole nother level.
He lost 15 pounds.
He was like 250, 260.
15 pounds. But Dwayne Wade lost some weight too.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna be a cakewalk.
It ain't gonna be a cakewalk. Let me tell you something. Talking about accepting the challenge, Wade and LeBron homeboys, right? But Wade also know that, okay, LeBron, for you, I kind of put my contract on the side for you. I lost money for you, LeBron. So now, you know, you're my homeboy now, but guess what? I'm about to turn back to the Flash. So he lost all that weight on the low. Wade trying to get it. Wade trying to get it on the low. But guys, listen to me. If the best ball player in the world, if a millionaire can say I accept the challenge, who are you not to say I accept the challenge? Who are you not to look at your situation and say, you know, I know I'm a kid. I know I got all these reasons why I can say, no, this is an excuse for me. But guys, accept the challenge. Accept the challenge, guys. I promise you guys, I would not be here if I did not accept the challenge. The last 2 years of my life probably was the hardest in my entire life, but I promise you I learned more about myself and I grew more in the last 2 years than I did the previous 26 years. Accept the challenge, guys. If you really want to go to the next level, listen, a lot of your parents was probably grown, probably born poor. And a lot of your grandparents were probably born poor. You gotta understand that if you do what you gotta do, whether it's in sports, whether it's in academics, whether it's a doctor, lawyer, whatever it is, if you do what you gotta do, it's a good possibility that you can maximize your potential, live a lifestyle that you can do whatever you want to do for your parents. I'm talking about taking them all over the world. You gotta think big. It doesn't serve you good at all to think small. Think big. Listen, think and dream so big to the point that if you were to tell the next person beside you dream, they probably laugh at you. That's what I do. Of course, I don't really tell people my dream, but I dream so big that if I tell somebody beside me, they probably feel a little uncomfortable. Dream big. And the third way of how you can actually embrace adversity, guys, is to give 120% when nobody's looking. It's easy to grind hard when everybody's looking at you. Yeah, I'm grinding. You see, I'm grinding right now. It's easy. But every once in a while, guys, you gotta put down Madden. Let me say something. I love Madden. I'm a football guy, so I love Madden. But every once in a while, you gotta put down NBA 2K. And you gotta think about what do I really want to do in life? If I say I want to be an A student, okay, you know, let me study some more. Not only am I going to read the chapter, but I'm going to go ahead and answer the questions at the end of the chapter. Even though the teacher didn't tell me to, I'm going to answer it so I can kind of be ahead of the teacher. Guys, you got to start thinking that way, because if you only do what the teacher tell you to do, if you don't learn what the teacher learning, you're going to always be the student, and she's going to always be the teacher, and the student don't get paid. You got to change your whole mentality, guys. So that's my time right there. That's what I want to talk about. But give 120% when nobody's looking, guys. And I promise you, I don't care how old you are. My life began to change when I was in the middle school, and like I said, I got cut from the football team. Because at that moment, I was like, come on, man. And especially when you see a lot of guys on the team that you know, come on now, you know you just as good or better. So I don't know if it was favoritism or what, but I said, you know what? I'd be so good. I'm gonna get so good to the point where you can't ignore me. So when I made it to high school, every Saturday you'll see me in the newspaper playing football. But I was hungry. Something sparked inside of me when I got cut from the team in the 7th grade. So guys, embrace adversity. When you go through hard times, smile. Be like, okay, because this moment right now, I'm going to grow from it. I'm going to learn from it. Then at the end of the day, guys, when you learn how to embrace adversity and challenge yourself so you can transform in every aspect of your life, then you'll be successful.